Just what is corporate responsibility anyway? It's a good question. It's also the name of an article that ran in Thursday's issue of Quality Digest Daily, and you can see it right there. This article, which was written actually by our own Ryan Day, byline Quality Digest, but written by our own Ryan Day, looks at the issue of corporate responsibility, and that's often used interchangeably with the term corporate sustainability, and what that really means in terms of today's business world. In the piece, Ryan spoke at length with David Tulauskas, the Director of Sustainability for General Motors. GM has made a major commitment to sustainable outcomes for all stakeholders in recent years, and they've earned some pretty impressive accolades for their accomplishments in this realm. Now, far from greenwashing, Tulauskas and GM have made corporate responsibility and corporate sustainability key parts of their core culture, and this is really the way that GM does business today. So, to tell us more about GM's sustainable journey, we're now very pleased to welcome David Tulauskas to the show. David, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And you know, during your interview with Ryan, when he was writing the article, you used a term that I thought was interesting, customer-driven sustainability. So what exactly, in your perspective, does that mean? And how does GM put customer-driven sustainability into practice?
So customer focus is really what drives our decisions. So customers want stylish, high quality, reliable vehicles that are fuel efficient. Many are looking for greater connectivity. You were just talking about the Internet of Things. That's definitely happening in the automotive business. And they care about how vehicles are produced. And a growing number of the consumers around the world, they also want to share their vehicles, and connectivity is helping to enable that. Or they want different mobility options. And so, customers-driven sustainability. Sustainability is how we drive our business. So how we build the vehicles, how we move or envision moving people from point A to point B in densely populated mega cities, that often are dealing with congestion and local air pollution. So how do we put that in practice? We start with GM's purpose and values that can be put simply as serving customers and improving the communities in which we operate. So, we want to serve our customers with a zero impact mindset, zero defects, zero waste. And these are all integrated in the way we operate. So initiatives to move us towards zero are really done by the same people on the same line, building the same vehicle.
David, you mentioned waste, and it's interesting. I mean, I think you said in the article that GM is, thinking of waste as a resource out of place, which I think is really an interesting way to look at it. I mean, how does this perspective allow you to reframe the notion of waste and reallocate those resources accordingly?
Yeah, great question. So, in our experience, as we look at waste as a resource out of place, it enables us to see waste streams as really potential new revenue streams. They have value to someone, perhaps a supplier of that part that we're getting waste from, or maybe another business in a completely different industry. So this has created opportunities for collaboration with other businesses who are often in other industries. And it has really spurred innovative ideas about how to take our waste and make them, an input for another company. And it even goes beyond the value of the product, or can extend that value of that waste, can help extend the value of that product. A lot of people, look for recycled content in the product. So there's a value added for that product. Possibly, for example, in the automotive business, we use our cardboard and turn that back into sound damping material. We also use old tires and plastic caps into air and water baffles. Now, we can't necessarily price for that, but it adds value because it reduces the amount of virgin material that we have to buy.
David, corporate sustainability really means a lot more than environmental issues. We all know that, although, of course, obviously those are important too. But what do you see as your mission in terms of ensuring sustainability for GM and GM's customers?
So, from a big picture, sustainability is about making sure we're in business 50 years, 100 years from now. And we think our business is going to change even more in the next 5 years than it has in the last 50. So imagine the change that we're going to have over the next, 50, 100 years. We need to be ready for that. And so we're really focused on transforming transportation. Our industry is going through significant disruption, and if we're not part of that, then we're not going to be in business. So when we talk about transforming transportation, we're going to do that through our products, our plants, our people, and our partnerships. And you talk about the value of sustainability being more than just environmental issues, and it is. It includes societal issues. That's so important as we live in a more connected world. And one of the results of this transformation is going to be more connected, intelligent vehicles that talk to other vehicles, they talk to the infrastructure. And as a result, we're going to have increased mobility that's going to be safer, it's going to be smarter. We expect significantly reduced accidents. I mean, today there's, I think, over 1 million deaths attributed to road accidents, vehicle accidents. So that's really epidemic levels, but we don't look at the societal impact of personal mobility in that way. But we have to. And so that's that sort of social aspect when we can reduce accidents through safer, smarter vehicles. But, as you mentioned, the environment is really important too. So, in addition to eliminating accidents, we're looking at making renewable energy a more feasible option. And we've got great partners in the World Wildlife Fund, the World Resource Institute, Rocky Mountain Institute that have come up with some great frameworks and principles that utilities and developers can use, and that other companies can help use best practices to do their own renewable energy projects, helping to bring renewable energy to scale at an industrial level. And then other partners like Ceres, where we're working with their group called BICEP, the Business for Innovative Climate and Environmental Policies, and they have a climate declaration. So, we need to be a part of all of it, not just one or the other.
Well, listening to you talk, it's clear that you and your team gets it. It's really heartening to hear that, and I want to give you a shout out because last year GM was honored with the Top Project of the Year award from the Environmental Leader Projects Awards, and that you won that for your initiative, Driving a Global Movement for Zero Waste. So tell us quickly, if you can, how did this initiative come about, and what has it meant for GM and for your various stakeholders?
So it really came out of just how we do business. So in our manufacturing organization, we have our global manufacturing system. So it's the same system that ensures zero defects, that enables us to drive towards our zero waste mission. And as I mentioned, it's part of the day-to-day job of our employees at our plant. So the same ones that are committed to, implementing high quality defect-free vehicles, they're also the ones that are helping to separate waste and that help us to achieve our landfill-free plants. So for example, from a historical perspective, our first landfill-free plant, that means the plant does not send any waste to landfills, was in 2005. Our Flint, Michigan engine operations achieved that. Now we're at 122. Facilities around the world that send zero waste to landfill. And we've established a commitment to achieve 150 landfill-free facilities by 2020. And aspirationally, we want to transform manufacturing. We want to send zero waste from all of our facilities to landfills. It's part of transforming transportation. And there's a really strong business case to operating in this way. From the hard work to change waste streams to revenue streams, gets our employees more engaged. And in addition to customers, employees are another key stakeholder. And studies show that more engaged workforce is a more productive workforce and achieves higher quality. So, and another responsibility we have is to share our best practices. So we mentor a lot of other companies on their zero waste initiatives and share our best practices so we can spread that zero waste mindset for greater impact.
All right. Well, David Tulauskas, Director of Sustainability for General Motors, thanks for joining us this morning. And good work. I mean, that sounds all that stuff sounds really awesome. Yeah, I mean, the strive towards zero waste, that's a great goal. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So,
we'll talk to you soon. Yeah, good stuff there. That article was very well received that we ran, and got a lot of reads, and thank you all for reading it as well. And if you haven't read it yet, again, right below the player page, right down there, check it out.